I'm Anna Whiteley and welcome to the latest edition of HSBC Golfing World. We've got another packed show for you, so here's just a little bit of what's coming up this time. I talked to Sweden's Alex Noren after the best season of his life. We're at the HSBC Golf Business Forum in Florida, and we travel to southern Spain to see what the area has to offer the golfing tourist. The traditional start to the golfing season, April of course means the Masters, and for 2016 champion Danny Willett, a chance to relive the greatest moment of his career so far. But just describe to us that moment on Sunday when you realised you could actually win the Masters.
Yeah, it wasn't until kind of 15, 16, and then out of nowhere he's gone from 5 to 1 as we walked off 15 down to 16, and then it was kind of a realisation that it could happen, and kept the thoughts and stuff pretty good, and obviously came up with 16 with a pretty nice golf shot there to line up a birdie to kind of then just keep moving forward, keep pressing. You know, we've been chasing all day trying to make birdies, and you know, me and Johnny made a bit of a path that we were going to stay aggressive regardless of what happened, and see what we could produce, and yeah, there you go.
The first European winner for a generation, Willet almost had to miss the tournament due to the birth of his first child, but young Zach arrived early, allowing Dad to take his spot in the field and provided a welcome distraction from the first major of the season, according to his longtime coach.
I think it did help him calm him down a little bit, you know, and there wasn't that build-up that they always get at the Masters. A lot of them arrive a little bit too early, and by the Thursday they're almost past where they want to be. And I've seen that quite a few players, that they have actually got there too early, and by Thursday they're almost burnt out.
The 29-year-old was a former amateur world number 1. Now a Ryder Cup player, did the win see him reassess his goals going forward?
To win a major in your career is obviously fantastic, and again, I don't think you can really look too far forward and say yes or no, or which events kind of fit better and this, that, the other. You just got to, like I said, you just got to keep working hard, and all I know now is that if it's my week, it doesn't matter what the field is or where you are in the world, you can achieve it. So, you know, that's a massive confidence booster in that aspect. It's just, you know, ticking them boxes, keep working hard, keep everything in place, and see what you can do.
The confidence you get from even just winning a tournament is massive. So winning a major's got to be twice as good, really. And I think he will go on. He won't be a one-hit wonder. He'll actually progress because he works very, very hard.
And when he returned to his native Yorkshire a week after his win, the scale of his achievement finally sunk in.
You don't realise how few Europeans have actually won around there, which is surprising with how good the Europeans have been over the years. Until I actually did what I did, you don't quite realise the magnitude of it all. You know, obviously the first English winner since Nick 20 years ago, only the third British winner after, you know, Woosie and Lyle as well. And then in terms of Europeans, I think I'm the 7th or 8th. You know, so you look at all the guys who have played and been in there and been in the tournaments, and it's really amazing to think that, you know, my name's, you know, always going to be there now in the record books next to them guys.
Golf can test your nerves and patience, but we love it. And we've been learning from the world's leading players how their passion for the game first developed. Today we hear from 2013 Masters champion Adam Scott.
I love golf for so many reasons, and it changes or has changed throughout my whole life. Obviously, I took to it as a kid and loved the challenge of just getting better and better, and still do. I love the fact that it's become my career, and I've travelled all around the world getting to see so many things. I feel incredibly lucky for that. I was introduced by my parents, and mostly my dad, but my mum's a good golfer too, and when I was 10 or 11 I got a handicap, and that came down quickly, and obviously that was fun times for me, getting better and better all the time, and started having those dreams when I was 12 or 13 that maybe this is what I should be doing. It's pretty much been a dream run, but also a lot of hard work goes into getting there too. I think getting to world number 1 and winning a major is obviously the big achievements. The length of my career is a real advantage because you can still love it even when it's not doing the right thing on, you're not hitting it the right way or struggling out there. I mean, but you've got to go through some lulls to get to that point, and everyone does if they've out here playing long enough, no matter what their level is. It's just a hard game and you never master it. But attitude is a big thing for all of us who play as pros, and if you can bring the right attitude out, then more often than not, I think it's going to give you some just reward.
This is Curtis Luck, the 20-year-old Australian amateur with the golfing world at his feet. Winner of both the 2016 US Amateur and the Asia Pacific Amateur Championship, he's ranked 2 in the world amateur golf rankings and makes his Masters debut this month.
We do work hard as golfers and practice, you know, daily for that, to hope that one day that sort of stuff comes true for us. But yeah, I definitely couldn't say I foresee how good my year would have been, because it really has been a great year for me, and I'm just soaking it all in at the moment and trying to keep it going.
He now gets starts at this year's Masters tournament, the US Open at Erin Hills and the Open Championship at Royal Birkdale, after becoming only the 3rd Australian to win the US Amateur.
I got the trophy Havamai a couple of weeks ago, just before I left to go to the Eisenhower Cup. And that was the first time I really had a good chance to sit down and stare at it. It's pretty amazing.
Also amazing is the quality of golf Luck conjured up to secure his victories. 1 down after 19 of the 36-hole US Amateur Final, he then won 8 in a row to turn the match around and win 6 and 4. And at the Asia Pacific, he produced a memorable comeback. The man from Perth overturned a 7-shot final round deficit by building a bogey-free 5-under par 67 to win by a single stroke.
It's incredible. At some point every day I find myself just getting this massive grin on my face and I can't wipe it off for 15 minutes, you know, so it's kind of ridiculous. It's something that I think every amateur who takes it seriously has dreamed of playing Augusta at the Masters, so, and I'm just so excited.
Curtis Luck, remember the name. The annual HSBC Golf Business Forum took place at the Marriott Resort Sawgrass recently, and what better setting than this famous golfing paradise in Florida. The great and good of the game's business world came together right next to TPC Sawgrass to network, discuss and move the game forwards.
It's been fantastic to host our 3rd HSBC Golf Business Forum here in Ponte Vedra, what many consider to be the heart and the home of US golf, to bring all the great and good from the business of golf, the industry of golf, to really to have a crucible for people to discuss new ideas, innovation, to learn from other people within the industry, to reflect on 2016, which has maybe been one of the most important years in the history of modern golf because of the Olympic Games, and to hear great panellists talking about their impressions of the game.
The first speaker at the forum was none other than the most successful golfer of all time and now a major player in the golf business world, Jack Nicklaus.
Well, golf has been my life. I don't think there's any question about that. But I said on stage, I said that most people work all their life to retire to play golf. I played golf all my life to retire to work. So it's just sort of a thing I say all the time, but it's something that actually is a fact. Because when I started to actually finish playing golf, doing the work, I've enjoyed it. I've been young in what I'm doing, but I've had a little bit of maturity before I got there. So it's worked out very well.
2 major awards were handed out. The first to Air 2G2 for innovation in the game, and second, a Lifetime Achievement Award for Annika Sorenstam.
I'm very honoured to achieve an award that has some incredible names on it in the past. Have done a lot for the game, whether it's on the course or off the course with their businesses or charity work, and contributed to the game in one way. So I'm very delighted and certainly thankful for HSBC to be able to give me this opportunity. But to come to this business forum in general is a great way for all the different parts of the game industries to get together and talk about the future and share solutions or come up with ideas to just make the game and the industry better.
Throughout the week, panels discussed a range of subjects, including pace of play, female participation, and the Olympic movement.
If we want the boat to sail faster and get to new destinations, we got to do it together. I think we all play a role, and we all have a responsibility, whether it's a player or whether it's a tournament organization or construction company or you name it. I think we all share a role to do something to get back to the game.
Meeting all of the major entities of golf here was just fantastic, and networking with these individuals, getting to know them. I always tell people that our entire careers, no matter what you do in life, is built on the relationships that you build and maintain over the years. And knowing many of these people that were at this conference this week was tremendous, because these are the absolute leaders in golf.
It's been a wonderful day that I've spent here, and certainly a great meeting of a lot of the people in the industry, sharing ideas to hopefully grow the game throughout the world. And what a better time to do that, and reflecting on 2016 and move forward with new ideas, new thoughts for 17 and beyond.
One of the key subjects for discussion was how to increase female participation globally and whether the game has the potential for major mixed events.
I think golf has a fantastic opportunity to showcase men and women competing side by side, and I think that represents a true opportunity. So to see, for example, we talked on the panel today about maybe having a male and female kind of Olympic event. That would be truly groundbreaking, and I think would showcase golf at its very best to the rest of the world.
Also on the agenda, pace of play and fitting the game into modern, busy lives, one of golf's great challenges.
We have an industry that's like a battleship, and it's hard to turn it. We need to be more of a speedboat and try to be able to make some subtle turns along the way to make golf more fun. We need to relax our dress codes. We need to try to make our club facilities more inviting, more fun. Golf really needs an hour sport, or something we do in an hour, because tennis has that, other sport, bicycling has that. This is something where they can come out, do it quickly, have a little fun, doesn't cost much, and we get the generation to keep that player going. Because the danger in golf is not necessarily not getting new players. The more critical thing would be losing the players we have.
2016 represented golf's first appearance at the Olympic Games in more than a century, and an unmissable opportunity to grow the sport worldwide.
We talked about the 2 weeks at Rio, we talked about the 5 years leading up to Rio, and most importantly, we've talked about golf's, the potential of the Olympics to grow golf past that. It's really, if you think about the Olympics, it's the greatest global gathering of casual fans. We'll never have an opportunity bigger than the Olympics to show off our sport in front of people who probably don't watch us week in and week out, and that's what made the Olympics special.
The athletes that were there had a unique and wonderful experience, and they're continuing to talk about that and be fantastic ambassadors for the Olympic movement. So yes, the success on that, success also in terms of the demographics of television. Had some great examples, such as the UK, where it's the men's event was the most watched golf event ever. It is the greatest golf grow the game opportunity that golf has.
The final day of the forum saw the delegates and panellists all taking to the world-famous stadium course at Sawgrass, bringing the curtain down on another hugely successful week. 2016 was a year to remember for Alex Noren. The Swede had the season of his life on the European Tour, racking up 4 tournament wins and shooting up the world rankings as a result. Anna sat down with Alex recently to discuss his remarkable success and what lies ahead.
Alex, you have blown the golfing world away this year. 4 wins in 11 starts. It's been incredible to watch. Are you able to describe the journey that you've been on this year?
Well, I couldn't have dreamed of this, coming into this season, and I won in the past, but not like this, and not big tournaments like this, and it's unbelievable, yeah.
Alex, let's talk about your last win in South Africa. That final round, you shot 9 under, won by 6 shots. How did it feel to be out there that day in that kind of form?
Well, going into the round, I played good on Thursday, Friday, and then had a pretty rough Saturday. I was leading and then dropped my lead and lost, so many shots to the other guys. And I just tried to get out on Sunday and shoot a decent score, get a good finish. And I've always had trouble, when you chase, you want to make all these birdies, and now this is the first time it's happened, yeah.
When you are chasing like that, we've seen you done it before, to turn that deficit around into a win. What do you think it is that you have inside you to be able to do that?
If you work hard, you're going to get it eventually, I think, and I've kind of always, you freeze up and you put too much pressure on yourself, and now, with the birdie on the first and then a 2-putt birdie on second, and then a short birdie on 3, then you get so much momentum. And first 9 holes I had all good looks, for birdies, and then you get these chances, and then you stop thinking about what how to putt and just kind of do it, instead of, oh, why am I putting too short or long or this or that. It's just when you get the touch and you get the feel for it, it helps so much.
And of course you played that final round with your fellow countryman Henrik. What was it like to be out there playing with him?
I haven't played with him in such a long time. I think Nordea Masters like 11 or something was the last time, and it's great. He's great on the course, and it's nice to speak some Swedish, and yeah, it was fun.
So let's just rewind to 2014, a really difficult year for you. You essentially missed the whole season with injury. How hard can it get when it's like that and you know that your future is really quite unpredictable?
Well, the thing is, in this sport, you get beaten up so many times mentally. And so you just kind of look ahead and try to make the best thing out of every bad situation you end up in. The one thing I've learned from this sport is like you just have to look in the future, and not because there's always another tournament coming up. It's always another year. It's just tough to see the guys, playing well, and you're injured and this and that. But I always thought I'd come back, but to what level was kind of unsure. Yeah.
You're now sitting at number 9 on the world rankings. Obviously your confidence is sky high, but are you able to pinpoint exactly what it is that's allowed you to find this form?
I've tried to play a lot more golf when I'm off the tournament site, play rounds, being able to really like being on the course and not being just on the driving range or the chipping green, putting green, to kind of enjoy getting a score from not, feeling great. That's been the problem in the past, I think.
2 years ago, you earned just under 5 grand. This year you've won just over 2.5 million. That must be a nice little bonus, I imagine.
Obviously, money is fantastic. You can spend a lot of money on your golf, on your coaches and all this, and you can travel nice and stay in nice hotels. But yeah, but just the joy of, being up there and having a chance to win and then actually pull it off is what I dream of, yeah. So.
It's been so nice to see you out there this year in such incredible form. Huge congratulations again, and we can't wait to see what you do next year.
It's time now to get an inside line on dealing with the mental side of making those pressure shots, as some of the game's top names share their own swing thoughts. Today we'll hear from Ryan Moore, another man who enjoyed the best season of his career in 2016.
The biggest issue I'd say most people have is just at address. It's the most tedious, annoying stuff to work on is your setup, and it's what dictates 90% of what happens. It's hard and it's annoying to work on, but just simply working on your alignment or really focusing on that on your golf course. If you're You know, you try and explain it to people, if you're lined up 20 yards right and you make a good swing, you're going to hit a bad shot. So you basically have to make a bad swing to produce a good golf shot. Really focusing on those things so that it actually makes your swing start working better. And it's just amazing, you know, playing in Pro-Ams every week, you just see how horrendous of alignment most people have. And it's what causes a lot of their swing errors, because they're simply just misaligned and aimed in terrible places, or their weight and their balance is just so far off. They're setting themselves up to make a bad golf swing. So that's something I like to think about and focus on as much as I can, so that it just kind of allows everything to work and I'm not fighting myself too much.
Each month on Golfing World, we're travelling the globe to show you the best destinations for truly memorable golf trips. This time, Anna's in southern Spain to visit the Costa del Sol. Her first stop, Valderrama, a venue consistently ranked as one of the finest in Europe, and 2016 Open de España host Sergio Garcia was more than happy to welcome back the continent's finest.
We've obviously missed it for 5 years now. I think it is 4 or 5 years, and it is a very special place. So it's nice to be back here, and hopefully it looks like it's going to keep going for a little bit. So that's good.
Tough but playable, the tightly tree-lined layout has a special feel. Valderrama is the perfect place to begin a trip here.
There's something unique about this place. I've been coming here for my holidays my whole life. Andalusia is an amazing place for golf. It's an amazing place to live in general, you know. Everything is so laid back, so relaxed. Andalusian people, they are so welcoming. It's I love this part of Spain. The food is phenomenal, the weather is good. I mean, it's easy to sell.
You know, the weather usually is great. I think the topology of the whole area, it's amazing. It's quite hilly, so you can get a lot of different looks. So I think overall it's just, you know, you got the water right next to us, so you can do a lot of things other than playing golf here. So if you come for a holiday or something like that, there's a lot of things to be busy.
Valderrama is the best known course in this part of Spain, but just 20 kilometres north, you can find a visually very different layout at Finca Cortesín. Opened in 2007, this incredible 18-hole track is famous for hosting the World Match Play from 2009 to 2012.
The first thing you see when you arrive here at Finca Cortesín is the driving range, and it's honestly one of the most impressive ranges I've ever seen. The view is spectacular with the hills and the valley, and it sort of makes you feel like you could hit the ball for miles. So I've got my clubs and I could definitely spend the day here.
It's obvious straight away how different this layout is to Valderrama. Regular changes in elevation mean you'll find yourself hitting several tee shots from above the fairway, and the wide open feel of several holes means the winds roll in from the mountains to provide an extra challenge.
Francisco, having been out there on the course this morning, I can see it has some really unique features. Tell me what makes this course different to the others in this part of Spain.
Well, the course is definitely a challenging course. Cabell Robinson, the architect, really used the features of the land. As you could see out there, we have 2 valleys, and the course runs through the 2 valleys. Our ethos is to keep the course always in a tournament condition. And I think that's what a guest wants when they come to Finca Cortesín, because the expectation is so high. They've seen the event 3 years on the television. We were lucky that during the World Volvo Match Play, we had 8 of the 10 best golfers in the world for that time. So the expectations are high, but we like that. We have a great team, and we always welcome everyone in the best way.
Beautifully presented and a real test of your game. It's a popular venue with large parties, but the club reserve earlier tee times for smaller groups, so get out early and you'll have the course all to yourself. Next stop is 25 minutes down the coast towards Gibraltar to the town of Alcadesa. The Alcadesa Links Resort is Southern Europe's only true seaside course. You'll begin your round on the cliff tops before dropping down towards the Mediterranean Sea.
Alcadesa Links is very different to a lot of the other courses in the region. Although it's never hosted a tournament, it's still well worth a visit for its beautiful ocean views, and just behind me is the Rock of Gibraltar. Anna, from the moment you walk into Alcadesa, it's just gorgeous. Just tell us a little bit about where we are on the coastline and whereabouts we are in Spain.
So we are next to the Costa del Sol, and we have 2 golf courses, Alcadesa Links and Alcadesa Heathland, in total 36 holes. And the Links course is our most popular golf course. It's the oldest one, and it's a Links style golf course, the only one in the south of Europe. Unfortunately, in Spain, so all the first line of the beach is built with big buildings and everything, and this place is spectacular because it's the only one that you have the natural, the golf course, the beach, the sea, even you can see Africa if the day is clear, and this is unique in Spain and south of Europe.
The standout hole here at Alcadesa is the 5th. It plays as a par 5 from up there on the tee to down here on the green. But the best thing about it is that it's the first time that you get to see the full ocean view. Look at that.
Alcadesa really is an incredible place to finish this particular tour. The unique links feel contrasts wonderfully with the cork trees of Valderrama and the dramatic plunging fairways at Finca Cortesín. Add blue skies to the mix, and you've got an unforgettable trip to enjoy.
That's it for this episode of HSBC Golfing World, but do look out for us next time you fly. In the meantime, you can stay in touch with us via social media and catch more videos online. But for now, it's goodbye from me, Anna Whiteley, and enjoy your travels.